Alright everybody, Martin here. Round 3 of this league. We're on the draw. We get this hand, which is a definite keep. Just hope we're not up against a Chalice deck, as we were in the last round. So I think like the Eldrazi is definitely like a terrible matchup, obviously. I think our last opponent playing like main deck Thorn of Amethyst is somewhat like how to put it, like I don't think that's the norm to have 4 thorns in the main. So that's like definitely skewed towards definitely beating stuff like us and other sort of cantrippy decks. But meanwhile here we're up against Death and Taxes, it looks like. And we're drawing a little bit heavy on lands here, and sadly we don't have our Cabal Therapy to name Thalia here, which is always the big worry. So we have to hope that they don't have Thalia, but instead have like Stoneforge Mystic or whatever. I think this is like fine for us to keep here. We can take the probe. The next turn we will draw Passive Flames, and we can crack a fetch and ponder and stuff. That's if they don't Thalia us. They don't. They have Port, so that's good for us. Yeah, if we had Brainstorm, we'd probably Brainstorm there, but we don't. So here we want to fetch, but we don't want to fetch Basic Swarm anymore because we want to be able to cast Ponder off it, and we have like Badlands to be like our initial black mana source. So let's just probe here first and see what's up. See if they have Thalia. They don't. They have Revoker though and Double Wasteland. So that's bad for us. It's really bad for us because they are going to tick up Vile, and that means they can always just flash in the Revoker when we cast our Diamond. So I'm not really sure what we're doing here. Like, if we hadn't gotten or if we hadn't fetched Basic Island and we hadn't gotten ported, we could have like cast Passive Flames and sacked LED for blue, but we can't do that. So I think we just have to ponder again. Now we're going to end up really wanting Brainstorm, which we get here. We also get the Therapy. Yeah. So we don't shuffle. So Vile is actually going to do a number on us here because it's going to allow the Revoker to come in. There's a waste. Okay, so what to do here? So I guess we ponder. So what I have to hope for here is them having found another 2-drop that they're going to bring in, like Stoneforge. Then taking up their Vial of 3 because they think that they will need the Revoker that badly. I don't think we're getting away from drawing this Tendrils. Or sorry, this Infernal Tutor. So let's do that. They will likely just Violent, no, okay, they won't. One, up to 3. Up to 3, baby. No. Dang. Another wasteland. Yeah, baby. So I'm not sure they are completely aware that we're on Storm yet, but yeah. So here we are going to cast this Brainstorm. So where are we going here? This Revoker is really going to do a number on us. They have snow. That was their second wasteland. So we could like draw land, go Dark Ritual, Therapy, and then hope they just don't flash in the Revoker, and then win that way. That seems very unlikely. But I mean, what else are we doing? Do we just lose otherwise? Being Brainstorm locked kind of sucks. I don't think we can ever get to natural tendrils with this setup here, so I think we're going to put back tendrils and then one of the lands. We'll draw the land. And I think we don't go for it like right now. I think we like going for the Therapy without the Dark Ritual feels like there's the highest chance of them not flashing in the Revoker, but like flashing in something like Stoneforge or whatever. It's a fool's hope, I guess. Well, they're thinking. Oh yeah, no. There we go. Hope they name Lotus Petal. No. And I actually don't remember what else they had in their hand. And it's not always saved. So like, if they had Thalia, she would have been in place. So I guess let's name Rin Wingmare. I guess we knew a couple of these. There's a Flicker Wisp. Oh, okay, so we're losing this, I think. Let's just Regite, Miran, Flicker, STP. Let's see, next turn we draw Tendrils. So I guess actually if we tutor for like a Dark Ritual, there's a world where we get to just like loop past the flames for the tendrils. I guess that's not horrible. The beats are gonna get real though pretty soon. That port can mess up that plan of the past the flames. And what, they're flickering in to take our land, I guess? Yeah, that's fair. Like if we draw a Cabal Ritual, that's a pretty big deal. Or I guess more lands. So now we're taking a beating for 5 down to 9. And they flash in Mirran Crusader and we take 9. So they have like this attack and the next one we're dead. If we don't do something. Oh, Thalia, baby, where have you been all my life? Thalia, ruining the fun for everyone. And we're dead. We could, like, tendrils. Exactly. With the Dark Ritual, we would go up to 13, but then we would take 4 from the Mirren, 5, 6, 9, 11, and we could port it, and there's Athalia, so yeah, we're dead. Too bad. Death and Tax is doing what it does. So we want the Massacres, we want the Chain of Vapor, we want the Echoing Truth. You don't want the second Past in Flames, or the second Tendrils. We also can live without the Duress. I guess the Preordain being the weakest of our cantrips. I think that's how we want to go about it. Ugh, so Death and Taxes. You don't see that deck that much online because Shot and Ports are like a million ticks. If they weren't that expensive, I would definitely be playing Death and Taxes. I like that deck. I have it in paper. Man, I think there's a pretty good chance that Ports will be in the Eternal Masters thingy that's coming out in a few months, and that should like lower the price significantly on Magic Online as well. So I'm hoping for that to happen, but we'll see. All right, on the plate. Come on, strong. Yeah, super strong. Keeping this on the draw. This might not be good enough. Here, I feel like there's a pretty real chance of us. Well, I guess if we find a tutor here, we've won. Or that. That also works. That very much also works. So next turn we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Storm. No, 5, because we won't be able to get all 3 of these. So let's see. The LED is the one we don't need. Alright. So 10 goblins on turn 2. And we will get to therapy. We'll probably need to hit on our first blind therapy for 10, meaning 9, I guess, goblins to be good enough. Alternatively, we brainstorm here and hope to hit either a petal or a tutor or a probe if we fetch first. So that's like a lot of outs, I think, right? Just like, I think making 10 goblins here. Okay, so what's the worst thing that happens? We miss on our first therapy, then we flash it back, taking like a card from them. Then they get their second turn. They make like Thalia. Then we attack for it for 9. They take 8. And then they go down to 12. And then they make like Mirren Crusader. And so they take 7 and go down to 5. And they make like 2 more creatures. And then we actually lose. It's pretty punt this. I think I'm going to fetch first, meaning just to also get like probe to be an out here. and we get rewarded. So can we also tendril them here? So wait, we'll have like 3, 5. We'll be able to tendril them, but then we won't be able to blind therapy them. We'll only have the flashback therapy. I think that's pretty good though, right? Let me just make sure I have this right. So Wonder Ritual 3, second is 5. The Lotus of the Lion's Diamond is 8. So we'll use 4 to tendrils, probe into the goblins. Yeah, that's what we want to do. So we got rewarded there. It was a bit risky. And I guess like the blind therapy from the yard just has to be aimed at either ratchet bomb or engineered explosives. Because Stoneforge won't be fast enough. So what kills us here is if we miss on the therapy, and they have, if we name Ratchet Bomb and they have engineered explosives, or the other way around, or if they have Mindbreak Trap. Those cards, those sort of scenarios beat us. I guess we'll see about Mindbreak Trap in a second. But anyway, sorry, what am I talking about? We won't get to, it won't be a blind therapy. We have to probe. Hooray. And they don't have one of the cards I was talking about. And this is great because I think I was going to, my other plan would be to blind therapy naming Thalia if like Brainstorm was a whiff, and they would have had Canonist instead. So here doesn't really matter that much if we therapy them or not. But I guess, is there a world where it matters? Like if they just rip the Ratchet Bomb or engineered explosives? I guess we would rather have them have 2 canonists. Oh, sorry, 2 revokers than a single canonist, I think. So I think we're just gonna take the canonist. And oh, they kept in Mangara. I'm really pleased that we didn't show them the massacres too, because we don't need them trying to play around the planes. Our opponent says, nice play. Thank you. Alright, so let's go to the sideboard again. I don't think anything changes for us here. We might, I was going to say we might want like one less discard spell, but I think like being on the draw or on the play against them doesn't really matter in terms of that regard, because we will get a turn. Like where you could argue having less discard is where they make like high impact turn 1 plays, like the Eldrazi deck, I think. Because if you're on the draw, you won't get your chance to play a discard spell under the Chalice. But we want therapy to name Thalia primarily. Yeah, so let's go with this. So again, it's the sort of the cost of Empty the Warrens. Like if it wasn't on their radar, then it certainly is now. We get a really nice hand here. It's a tutor away from just winning, so we're gonna we get both our draw step, probe, and then potentially like find something on the ponder. Although you have to assume that by turn 2 they will have established something. We also get to fetch out like basic island, basic swamps. That's nice. They mulligan to 6 and down to 5, so I guess they're, yeah, that's down to 4. Wow. 3. I wonder if it's like the white ley line or... Wow, they've mulliganed to 3, so... Tough beats. So I guess we can... Oh, there's a tutor. Wow. No fairness in the world for our opponent. They have Caracas and rest in peace. So this is exactly, well, this, before we drew the ritual, is exactly where you want Grim Tutor over Dark Petition, because, like, disregard that we drew the second Dark Ritual. This is the exact situation where you can get to 4 but not 5 mana, so you can't cast Dark Petition, but you can cast Grim Tutor with a black floating and then 3 red off the Lives of Diamond. So, yeah. So I think we can just go for the Past in Flames. So we'll have 8, 11, minus 3 is 8, minus 4 is 4, plus 6, 8, 11, yeah. Do it like this so we get Threshold. Wow, so that was super sad for our opponent. But yeah, that's the way the game goes sometimes. And we tendrils them. So we're at